One thing I'll say before I get back on track with my story is if you notice me getting confused here, my language getting kind of jumbled, I'm on a high dose of this medication called Zyprexa, which causes cognitive impairment as a side effect. And my mind is severely impaired. But to get back to the story, so now I've got a lady named Shirley. I'm running another scam with Atrium and Jenny. And so what I do is I call Shirley, and Shirley calls me back, and I record the conversation. In North Carolina, it's a one-party consent state. I can record the conversation on my own without, Shirley doesn't have to give consent or even know about it. And I talk with Shirley, and Shirley makes repeated attempts to get my full 9-digit Social Security number, which is, you go to my complaint, go to the evidence links, go to Atrium Health Fraud, and you will see the evidence for this is there, those recorded calls. But she makes repeated requests for my 9-digit Social Security number to remove a phone number. Okay, this is on June 7th. Now, of course, on June 6th, when Jenny first texts me and tells me to contact Shirley, I call Shirley and curse her out, and Shirley says she's removing the number then. Okay, so now on June 7th, she's saying that she needs my Social Security number to remove this number, get my full 9-digit Social Security number to remove a phone number off my account. She tells me that I would have entered Jenny's phone number as my alternate contact at the time that I did intake at the hospital. Now, this hospital where they have this inpatient unit is the same place that I go to get my routine care. And I checked in there first in August of 2011, around August to November of 2011, before I ever knew Jenny and before Jenny ever had this job. Okay, so I very obviously did not give them this number. I don't even know it, and I sure as hell didn't know it in 2011 when I did my intake paperwork. But this is what she tells me. And this is very, very suspect to me that she keeps trying to get my full 9-digit Social Security number. At one point, she lies to me and says that she has my 9-digit Social Security number on a paper in her filing cabinet. And so I refuse to give her my Social Security number as she makes repeated, desperate attempts. And what I gathered from conversations with Shirley, this girl Shirley, I'm calling this lady Shirley of Atrium Health Finance, and also with Atrium Health's privacy team, that the only reason that she could have possibly wanted my Social Security number was to order my medical records and file a Medicaid application. Now, at the beginning of this call, I deny any interest in Medicaid outright, completely, explicitly, and so there's no reason whatsoever for her to get my Social Security number unless she's trying to file a Medicaid application, get my medical records without my consent. That's what she's doing, and what's happened here is Wells Fargo has got wind that my medical records, that my doctors have called bullshit on their petition. They know they've already committed this healthcare fraud with the mobile crisis team. They came and visited me. And Wells Fargo also, I believe, was after my medical records from this hospital that I was at when I was 18. And that's why this lady's so motivated. Because, again, she does this. She orders my medical records against my consent. She's looking at 5 or 10 years in prison, $300,000 fined, okay? But she's like foaming at the mouth, very, very motivated. And why she's so motivated to get this info, to commit this crime that's going to get her in trouble, she gets caught, because she is being offered a hell of a lot of money. And who involved in this situation has a hell of a lot of money to pay her? Is it Jenny, who makes $55,000 a year or whatever she makes at a banking job working for a different bank? Is it this Charlotte Mecklenburg police officer who makes $40,000 a year, whatever it is that he makes? It's got enough to offer her. Oh, well, no, obviously, the big money player in the game that has the money to offer her enough money to offer her for her to be so intensely motivated to try to perpetrate this crime. It's Wells Fargo. And again, you can see this. Go to my complaint. That's down below. Download my complaint. Keep a copy of my complaint. Go to the evidence files. Go to Atrium Health Fraud, and you will find all this information. You'll find my recorded phone calls with Shirley, where she's asking for my Social Security number. You will also find my calls with the privacy team, where the privacy team tells me that the finance department doesn't have my full Social Security number anywhere. Shirley's lying to me when she says she has it on a paper in her filing cabinets. And she's lying to me to disarm me, by the way, to make me think, well, hey, she's already got my Social Security number. It's just on a paper that she doesn't want to go get. So I should, give her my Social Security number because she's going to have it anyways. That's what she's trying to do there, is make me think that. But again, it's all in the evidence. Go to this Atrium Health Fraud zip file and unzip that file, and you'll see the calls where all the evidence and all the facts that I just gave you, that the only use for this Social Security number is to order my medical records and file a Medicaid application. that all the facts that I've given are in that evidence link, or are in the files that are in that evidence file link for Adrian Melt fraud.